a Just Stop Oil spokesperson. Alex, thank you for joining me. I don't know whether you've seen the latest headlines, and we don't know the details as yet, but it looks like, looking at the headlines, it says an eco-mob are putting lives at risk because Just Stop Oil have caused an M25 motorway pile-up after a police motorbike rider responded to the protest, and it caused a crash between two lorries. It was only a matter of time, wasn't it, before you lot caused something like this?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Alex, I'm 24, I'm a climate scientist. And yeah, you're right, this is terrible. I was really dreading the day something like this would happen. Yeah, it's terrible.
But you presumably, your organisation needs to take some responsibility. If a person has been hurt because of your protests, that is with you.
I'm really sorry to anyone who's been caught up in this, and it's terrible what's happening. You're right.
Is that it? Is that all you have to say in this situation? If there are people in hospital this morning because of you lot trying to make a point that very few people in this country, I must say, agree with you and are supporting you with, is that literally all you have to say?
Seeing more action.
Pardon?
So many people agree with us, you're right, but then why aren't we seeing more action? This is COP27. Last year at COP26, there wasn't even a mention of oil and gas in the final deal. We need climate action, and that's why we're doing this, because we care about people. We really do, and that's why we're trying to defend the future of all life on Earth, really, by doing whatever we can.
The absolute irony of saying that you care about people when there are thousands of people sat on roads up and down the country, particularly around London, actually, at the moment, trying to get to hospital appointments, trying to get home to see their children. You know, the fact that you are basically passing this off as some sort of compassionate act leaves most of us absolutely furious. Do you understand the impact you're having in terms of encouraging people to push back against you?
Of course we understand that. And this is, as I say, this is terrible. I would be furious too if I was caught up in that traffic, if I missed a funeral or an appointment. I would be furious. But the real question you need to be asking is, why are people taking actions like this? Why are doctors, nurses, grandparents, students, teachers, bartenders, why are they doing this?
Well, I would ask, why do you feel you are self-appointed saviours of the world when we don't need you to save us?
We're not self-appointed saviours of the world. We're just ordinary people that are trying to make a difference. And Just Stop Oil, I have a friend who's a doctor who sees children dying from fossil fuels air pollution almost every other day. I have another friend who's a paramedic who goes and sees people dying from the cold and just turns up, and they're just sitting in their armchair. It's awful. I have another friend who's a farmer who's seen crops literally go on fire during the heat wave. We need change. These are ordinary people who are seeing the faces of the climate crisis right now.
Alex, can I just ask you, because I've seen a lot of you lot be interviewed, and I have so many questions. Like, who are you in real life? You call yourself a climate scientist, but what do you do? How do you have the time to be doing this? Where do you live? What's your job?
So I'm doing my PhD in green hydrogen production at Newcastle University. I've taken several months out of that PhD to do this full time, because what we do as scientists means very little if the government's not willing to implement it.
So green hydrogen is one of the, what you would want to take over from our fossil fuels, right? And that will become a very lucrative business for you one day, Alex.
It may well do, but in all honesty, we need more renewable energy than we need green hydrogen. We need tidal power, we need insulation, we need subsidized public transport, we need to be taxing the big oil polluters. There are so many solutions out there, and the government are just not using them. So that's why there's only one solution that really matters, and that's mass civil resistance.
Well, I can tell you that you do not have the support of the country. And what you're doing in terms of protesting in this way means that you are very likely to encourage the police to take on greater powers to stop all protests. And that is going to affect all of us in a way that does not necessarily, is not necessarily worse than what you're talking about with the climate. But anyway, Alex, thank you. Alex De Koning.